Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Tote Show. I'm joined today by Gary Carroll. Welcome, Gary. Thanks for joining us today. We were talking off air about the race for champion jockey. Of course, Pat Smullen rode a four-timer at Dundalk a couple of weeks ago and had closed the gap. But of course, Colin Keane, the winner at Dundalk last Friday, 2 at Cork on Saturday, and a treble at Naas on Sunday. Looks like he's home and hosed.
Well, that's to say anyway, but even looking at Dundalk tomorrow, Pat has a great book of rides. It's going to be very hard for him to ride 8 winners now without Colin riding any. Pat, I know he's accepted defeat really? Publicly, but I don't think he won't go down without a fight anyway.
Has there been much crack in the weight room between the pair of them? Is it?
Well, you even to hear Desi Scal's commentary, where Dundalk the pair are at it again. Yeah. And it's great. It is a great. It is a great rivalry, and it's a great way to finish off the season.
It is, absolutely. So if we look at last weekend, Naas particularly, Gary, you had a couple of placed in Cantador for Sheila Lavery and Juline in the listed race, which I thought ran a fantastic race.
It was, yeah. It was great for the owners. I think it's our last run, Juline's last run. That's valuable black type to horn out to make a valuable brood mare. So they were over the moon with her. That's twice now she's after getting black type. So it was well placed by Michael McBanney to find them races for her and aim for them, just so it'll boost her stud career. And
in Cantador finished behind that impressive winner dramatically. That looked a decent maiden as well. Yeah,
that was the best field she gave me all this year. She's quite a big filly, and it was the first time all year we're aiming towards 7 and a mile with her, because she's travelled really well and really stay on well at her races. But she seems to have to strengthen up now, and she seems to just got a shade quicker. So hopefully a bit more improvement. I'm not sure if she'll go again this year, but on that run on last Sunday, she's going to win her maiden. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And of course we had the final of the 4-iron equine race on Sunday as well. A very valuable race. Unfortunately, not so much luck there with Burmese Blazer for Ger Lyons.
No, he's a horse. He didn't run terrible. He didn't run a bad race. Slow away, but finished away okay. It'd be a horse to keep an eye on maybe for when he goes into nursery grade. But I think there's a race to be won with him. There's no taking away from the winner on the day. He was very impressive, and it actually rode quite a good race. So I'd say the winner's a horse to follow.
To follow, yeah, definitely. So if we look ahead, particularly to Ascot this weekend, and again we were talking off air about Aidan O'Brien's quest to beat Bobby Frankel's Group 1 record, and he's certainly got a host of chances at Ascot on Saturday. So if we maybe look at the 4 Group 1 races, Caravaggio's up first in the sprint, probably has it all to do to beat Harry Angel.
Yeah, I actually rode against Harry's Angel early in the year when he won in Haydock, and I was very, very impressed with him that day. He's a horse with a lot of speed, and even a track like Haydock suits him, a real quick track. Ascot's a bit of a stiffer track, which might just play into the hands of Caravaggio. Caravaggio seems to be a very strong finisher, and the way the ground is going to be slower ground, so it could just be more of a test. Harry's Angel, obviously he's after improving as the year went on, so he's a worthy favourite. But a stiff 6 in Ascot on slow ground might just play into Caravaggio's hands as well.
Yeah, I agree completely. If we look at the fillies and mares stakes, then Hydrangea again for Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore probably looks up against the likes of Journey and Batil, and of course winner Coronet.
Yeah, looking at that race, there's a lot of them fillies. There's not probably a huge amount between them. Whatever can get a bit of luck on the day would be a help. I was actually listening to the race on the way over, and Aidan O'Brien was interviewed, and he said Ryan was of the opinion Hydrangea would enjoy the step up to 1.5 miles. Really? So she seems to be a very tough filly, and
she's had a long season.
Season, but Aidan O'Brien, he's proven before that them fillies they can really stay going. They stay going all year. So she's really tough and hardy, and if he gets into a battle, I can see her really coming through.
Yeah, true. If we look at the QE2 then, Churchill, not surprisingly for me, definitely stepped back to a mile here, was well beaten in the Irish Champion Stakes. You couldn't really put it down to the distance. I mean, I thought he had ran well previously, over 10 furlongs in the Juddmonte, but is really up against it, up against Ribchester. Ribchester's won 3 Group 1s already this year and would have had the clean sweep only for being beaten a neck in the Sussex Stakes. So he's probably the best miler for me in Europe by far.
Yeah, it's probably, look, you nearly put a line through Churchill's run, the Irish Champion Stakes. You got stuck down here a little bit, didn't get the clearest of runs. I'm not saying he would have won that day, but he would have finished a lot closer. Probably come back to a mile might suit him. He's not slow. Ribchester's obviously hard to get away from, and he does handle an ease in the ground, and he's the one to beat. But Churchill, there's no doubt he's been a bit disappointed since his Guinea sweep.
If he's back to his early season form though,
if he's back to his early season form, he could give Ribchester a real run for it.
Yeah, and the last of the Group 1s, and of course the big one on today, is the Kipco Champion Stakes. Cracksman for me here is a complete false favourite, back to a mile and 2 furlongs. He's been beaten in 2 derbies, he's beaten in the 2 Group 1s that he's running. Barney Roy, we put up on the show here a number of weeks ago at 5 or 6 to 1, is probably the bet of Champions Weekend. Cliffs of Moher and Highland Reel both have it all to do, particularly Highland Reel. Looks like the ground is going to go against him. What's your take on the race?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I thought Highland Reel now, with the rain coming, won't play into his hands, and he could be like a non-runner. They have pulled him out before on very slow ground. Barney Roy, on the racing post, Richard Hand's been very bullish about him. Yeah. So maybe he is one to
well, he won the St James's Palace Stakes at Royal Ascot. He was only beaten a nose in the Eclipse, and this has always been his stated end of year target. You know, so I think for me he's definitely the horse to beat.
Yeah, well, listen, look, it's all Group 1 form he has, and it's very hard to get away from that, and he's been knocking on the door all season, as you've been saying, and if he can keep up that level of form, sometimes this time of the year horses tend to lose the form a small bit, but if he can keep up that level of form, he's going to be right bang. He's going to be bang there.
Well, hopefully Aidan does match or indeed beat that Group 1 record at the weekend. Just in regards to yourself at the weekend, Gary, Dundalk, Fairyhouse and Leopardstown, anything that you'll be riding this weekend?
Yeah, I'm quiet in Dundalk tomorrow now. I've only one. Filly Jane Foley's, she looks like she might struggle to win a maiden, but hopefully she'll be on to keep an eye on it when she goes handicapping. It's sort of up in the air. We'll know declarations tomorrow exactly what I'm riding, but looking at entries, it's Fairyhouse Saturday. I ride a 2-year-old for Michael Mavani, Premier League, he's been running well enough all year, and this is probably the weakest season in nursery, and it's probably looks like it's the weakest race he's ran in. So handles and knees in the ground, so he could be, with a bit of luck, he could run well. And Sunday, filly of Joe Murphy's Grey Willow, I won on her in the stall, and she ran a great race in Galway a week later from a bad draw, where a mile would be well below her minimum trip. Mile and a half around Leopardstown, right up her alley, and I think she'd run a big race. Okay, brilliant. There's some great insight there, Gary. If we were to look at the 4 Group 1s in the UK at the weekend, would you have a strong fancy for anything there? What would be your best bet of the weekend, Irish or English? I was very taken by Harry's Angel. I think he's really a sprinter on the up, and I find it very hard to talk about. It'd be very hard to. I completely agree. The price is probably a little bit short for me, but we'll stick with Barney Roy. Hopefully, we're on at 5 or 6 to 1 a couple of weeks ago. I think he's probably the bet of the weekend in Ireland or England. So once again, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to our guest Gary Carroll this weekend, and the best of luck with all your bets this weekend.